One day, a cupid named Guri suddenly showed up at Seiji's house. She told him that if he didn't kiss someone soon, he would die. Seiji was bewildered by this stranger who had barged into his home and made such a bizarre statement. He immediately told her to leave, insisting that he didn't meet a shinigami. He quickly shut the door. He wondered if that was some kind of door-to-door religious preaching or perhaps a new type of scam. However, Guri suddenly phased through the door and told Seiji that he should have listened to her until she finished speaking. Seeing this, Seiji screamed in terror. Guri then showed him a book called The Kiss Note and asked him to take a look inside. As Seiji flipped through the pages, he saw names of different couples written inside. Then on the next page, he saw his own name, which completely shocked him. Guri explained that the names written in the Kiss Note had to kiss someone within 24 hours, otherwise she would die. Seiji tried to kick Guri out of his house again, but she desperately begged him not to ignore her, explaining that if he didn't kiss someone, she would die. She started crying and asking Seiji if he didn't feel guilty for letting a helpless girl like her die just like that. Seiji, however, ignored her and tried to shut the door again, but Guri banged on it, calling him a murderer of love. Fearing that his neighbors might report him to the police, Seiji reluctantly allowed Guri inside and asked what exactly she wanted from him. Guri explained that she needed a kiss from Seiji, which was why she had come to him. At first, Seiji suspected that she was trying to preach about religion or something similar, but it turned out that Guri was just a pervert asking for a kiss. Seiji found it amusing that the theory about girls' sexual desires increasing at a certain age might actually be true. He was surprised by how easily Guri talked about such things, especially since he himself had never kissed anyone before. Seiji then asked if Guri planned to blackmail him after the kiss. She assured him that she wouldn't do that, but she did say that it might be the beginning of the best time in Seiji's life, and that he would ultimately save her with his love. Seiji was completely taken aback by how much Guri seemed to want this to happen. She eagerly encouraged him to start the kiss. For a moment, Seiji thought she was kind of cute, and as a man, he figured he shouldn't pass up this opportunity. They kissed for a few seconds. Afterwards, Seiji asked if Guri was satisfied. However, Guri felt that Seiji had misunderstood something. She then demonstrated the power of the Kiss Note. She wrote down the name of the Prime Minister and the name of the Council President, putting an X between them. Then she turned on the TV. To Seiji's surprise, the broadcast showed the Prime Minister and the Council President kissing. Guri explained that anyone whose names were paired together in the book would end up kissing within 24 hours. Seiji was impressed by the book's power, but he was also confused as to why Guri had chosen to pair two men together. It turned out that she had a habit of making same-sex couples. Guri further explained that the book would have no effect if only one name was written. At that moment, only Seiji's name had been in the book, so nothing had happened to him. For Guri, what had happened between them was just a casual act of affection. Seiji, realizing he had misunderstood the situation, apologized for kissing her. Guri then admitted that she had originally wanted to see a BL, boys love, moment between two voice actors. However, when she attempted to write their names in kanji, she made a mistake and ended up writing Seiji's name instead. Seiji was furious upon realizing that everything was Guri's fault. As an apology, Guri offered to pair him with his ideal man. Seiji was completely confused as to why it had to be a man. Guri also informed him that if one of the names in the book remained without a partner, that person would remain single for life and she would die as a result. That day, Seiji invited Guri to his high school. He asked Guri not to stand out, but she had already activated her opportunistic setting, making her invisible to ordinary people. They began searching for their target. Seiji's gaze fell upon a girl named Akane, who was exercising. He wasn't sure if Akane would be willing to kiss him. Akane called out to Seiji, noting that he had already left earlier. Seiji claimed he had forgotten something. He was delighted to look at the beautiful Akane. Suddenly, Guri mischievously pulled down Akane's pants, confident that Akane wouldn't see her. Seiji was shocked by Guri's actions, but Akane asked Seiji who the cosplaying girl was. Guri was surprised that Akane could see her. Seiji insisted he had nothing to do with the girl. Guri, however, mentioned that Seiji had already kissed her. Akane was startled to hear they had kissed. Seiji clarified that it was an accident. Unexpectedly, Akane declared she would execute Seiji for cheating on her. Seiji was puzzled, as he didn't recall dating Akane. Akane acknowledged they weren't dating at that moment, but suggested things could change in the future, and wouldn't forgive him even if it happened then. Akane threatened Seiji with 2 knives for daring to flirt in front of her. She attacked Seiji with the knives. Fortunately, Guri pushed Seiji away, causing the knife to hit Guri's head. Akane was puzzled why Guri didn't die from the knife wound. Guri asked if Seiji was okay, but Seiji was more concerned about Guri. Akane attacked them again, unable to bear watching them flirt in front of her. Seiji quickly pulled Guri away from Akane. He was surprised by Akane's rough behavior. Guri remarked that Akane seemed perfect for Seiji since they liked each other. Seiji commented that perhaps all guys think the same, that it would be delightful to kiss a girl as beautiful as Akane. But he didn't expect it to turn out like this. Guri reminded him that if he didn't kiss her soon, he would remain a virgin forever. Guri suggested writing another girl's name but worried that Akane would mercilessly kill that girl. Seiji contemplated finding a way to prevent anyone from being killed. He proposed writing Guri's name instead, considering they had already kissed once and that everything happened because of Guri's mistake. Seiji asked if that was acceptable. Before Guri could answer, a knife thrown by Akane from the school rooftop suddenly stabbed her back. Akane immediately jumped down to approach them. Seiji didn't understand why Akane was acting this way, as she had never behaved like this before. Akane explained that she was acting this way because Seiji liked her. She realized it from Seiji's intense gaze, which made her happy, so she waited for Seiji to confess his feelings to her. Akane cried, saying she didn't know since when Seiji had been with another girl, and it made her feel unfair. Seiji said he should have expressed his feelings even though he didn't know if they would be reciprocated. Seiji thought Akane was touched, but she was angry because Seiji had kissed Guri and decided to execute him. Akane stated she would cut Guri into pieces first so she couldn't survive like before. Akane prepared to swing her knife while Seiji tried to wake Guri, but she didn't move at all. Seiji hugged her to protect her from Akane's attack. Akane and Seiji accidentally kissed because Guri moved. Guri remarked that Seiji was too kind and asked why he tried to protect her. Akane just realized that she and Seiji had kissed earlier. Guri said that even though it happened briefly, Seiji and Akane had feelings for each other. Guri congratulated them because they were now destined as a couple, and according to the myth, couples who are brought together by the kiss note are bound to get married. Guri was also curious why Seiji kept calling her Shinigami. She quickly changed her appearance and revealed that she was actually an angel, more specifically, a Cupid. Guri then asked Seiji to stop calling her Shinigami and instead call her Guri. Akane then asked if Guri had come to unite her with Seiji. Guri admitted it and explained that with the power of the kiss note, Akane and Seiji's future was now eternally connected. Shortly after, Guri suddenly kissed Seiji, shocking Akane. It turned out that Guri had also written her own name alongside Seiji's in the kiss note. The next morning, Guri woke Seiji up with a kiss. Seiji was startled and realized that everything that happened yesterday was not a dream. Guri admitted that she was touched when Seiji tried to protect her. Even though she was an angel, she was actually quite clumsy, and she wanted to learn more about that feeling, whether it was truly love. Akane immediately started stabbing Seiji, forbidding him from cheating in front of her. Seiji was confused as to why he wasn't dying from Akane's stabbing. Guri then explained that because Seiji was now paired with her, he had received the blessing of an angel, which made him unable to die. Guri then called it a love triangle, but Akane obviously refused to accept such a situation. While having a meal at Seiji's house, Guri was warmly welcomed by his family. She then told Seiji that she had used her shark-shaped staff to brainwash his family into believing that she was also their daughter. She did all of this so she could live in Seiji's house, arguing that since they were dating, it was only natural for them to live under the same roof. However, Seiji immediately objected, saying that he had never agreed to date her. Suddenly, Seiji's cat started talking, revealing that there was a reason behind everything. The cat introduced himself as Coralie and explained that he had borrowed the body of Seiji's pet cat, Blue, for the time being. Coralie was actually an angel assigned to watch over Guri. Seiji then asked if they had also brainwashed Aqua, his younger sister. His mother replied that Aqua was still at her club activities and had returned home yet. Seiji then asked what Coralie wanted to talk about, but Coralie insisted on discussing it after meeting with Akane. The next morning, Seiji brought Guri and Coralie to school to meet Akane. As soon as Akane saw him, she started stabbing him again for openly cheating on her right in front of her eyes. Coralie then urged them to start discussing something important about their future. Some students saw Seiji and Akane together and immediately assumed that they were dating. Coralie began explaining that it was extremely rare for an angel and a human to become a couple. Because of the angel's blessing, both Seiji and Akane had temporarily become angels, making them unable to die. However, as angels, they were required to work. If they refused, they would be sent to hell and lose their souls. This meant that if Guri didn't do her job as a Cupid, both Seiji and Akane would disappear along with their souls. Seiji was furious that Guri had dragged him into such a mess. Coralie then requested that Seiji and Akane help Guri with her duties. Akane, of course, immediately refused. Coralie then stated that if Akane didn't comply, she would lose her soul and would never be able to be with Seiji. Upon hearing this, Akane quickly agreed to do whatever it took to ensure she could be with Seiji in the future. Seiji then asked what they needed to do to help Guri. Guri explained that all they had to do was write in a kiss note, just as she had explained the day before. Seiji, however, snatched the kiss note from her and insisted that Guri shouldn't randomly pair people up. He believed that they should think things through first because love was something truly important. Coralie agreed with Seiji, saying that unlike Guri, who always acted recklessly and had a habit of pairing up random people, especially creating gay couples just for fun, Seiji actually had a rational approach. Because of this, Coralie decided to entrust Seiji with the responsibility of helping Guri. It was time for Coralie to return to heaven. Before leaving, he told Seiji that aside from assisting Guri, he could still live his life as usual. Seiji and Guri were chatting together while Seiji was trying to avoid Akane because the atmosphere in the classroom had become terrifying. Suddenly, Guri kissed Seiji out of nowhere, causing him to immediately push her head away. He reminded her not to do such things without permission. Out of the blue, Yuzu saw them from the top of the stairs. She accidentally slipped and fell right into Seiji's arms. As he tried to catch her, Yuzu told him not to touch her. She believed Seiji was deceiving girls by pretending to be kind. She also accused him of cheating with another girl, despite already being in a relationship with Akane. Without hesitation, Yuzu grabbed the book and left. Seiji told Guri to take it back, but Guri couldn't move because she was too full. Seiji followed Yuzu to the rooftop, asking her to return the book because it was extremely important. He suspected that Yuzu had written something in it and began panicking, questioning what she had written. Yuzu warned him not to come any closer. Suddenly, the floor beneath Yuzu split apart and she started to fall. Fortunately, Seiji managed to save her, causing Yuzu to land on top of him. It turned out that Akane was the one responsible. She was furious and accused Seiji of cheating on her. In the midst of all the chaos, Guri played background music that matched the scene of a villain's appearance. Yuzu quickly got up and ran, but Akane immediately leaped off the rooftop in pursuit. Seiji, concerned that Akane might actually kill Yuzu, urged Guri to chase after them. As Akane lunged forward to stab Yuzu, her knife mysteriously broke in half, allowing Yuzu to escape. Akane was confused. Something seemed to be protecting Yuzu. Yuzu attempted to write her name in the book, but the writing kept disappearing. Guri then explained that only angels could write in it, meaning ordinary humans couldn't do so. She then asked what kind of protection Yuzu had that allowed her to withstand Akane's attack. Seiji reminded Guri to ask about the kiss note first, suspecting that Yuzu knew something about it. Yuzu had heard that the kiss note could make impossible love become reality. Yuzu fell silent when Guri asked if she had someone she wanted as a partner. Akane was shocked to learn that Yuzu had set her sights on Seiji. Furious, she leaped forward, ready to stab Yuzu, but Seiji shouted at Akane to stop. Akane froze in place, stunned. This was the first time Seiji had called her by her real name. Overjoyed, she immediately ran to him. Yuzu, however, claimed that Akane's feelings were fake and the result of manipulation from the kiss note. She accused Seiji of using the book to make Akane reciprocate his one-sided love. Yuzu then revealed that she loved Akane. Even though she knew her feelings were forbidden, she believed she was the one who should be dating Akane. Guri became ecstatic upon discovering the same gender love. Seiji had to accept that he wasn't the one Yuzu was interested in. He also admitted that Akane was truly incredible, considering how she could receive a direct love confession. Unexpectedly, Akane rejected Yuzu, revealing that they were actually sisters. Despite having different family names, they were still related by blood. Guri became even more excited, realizing this was a forbidden love involving both lesbianism and incest. Yuzu pleaded with Akane, calling her big sister, but Akane forbade her from using that term. Yuzu then asked if Akane was rejecting her because they were both women and also siblings. She insisted that Akane's love for Seiji was fake, a result of the kiss note's manipulation. Akane, however, declared that she loved Seiji regardless of the kiss note. Heartbroken, Yuzu questioned what would happen to her own feelings. Suddenly, Guri announced that she had written Yuzu's name in the kiss note. That meant Yuzu was now part of the couple. As an angel, Guri couldn't ignore a girl in love right in front of her. Upon hearing this, both Seiji and Akane scolded Guri. Yuzu then asked if this meant she could now date Akane. Seiji and Akane explained that all of them were now part of the same couple. Guri urged Yuzu to hurry up and kiss Akane. If she didn't want to, she could randomly choose someone among the three of them. Yuzu couldn't believe she finally had a chance to kiss Akane. Overjoyed, she ran toward her, aiming for a kiss. However, she tripped on a rock and accidentally ended up kissing Seiji instead. Witnessing this, Akane immediately prepared both of her knives. That morning, Yuzu's car was parked near Akane's house. She was targeting the trash disposed of by Akane's family. As soon as the trash was taken out, Yosef hurriedly ran to retrieve it. She was so delighted and told her driver, Teru, that she had succeeded again today. Teru suggested that Yuzu should stop rummaging through Akane's family trash every morning. Yuzu was ecstatic while holding a used tissue that Akane had used and sniffed it. The scent of Akane's favorite rose perfume still lingered on the tissue. To her, that tissue didn't belong in the trash, but rather in treasure box. It was time to go to school, but Yuzu hadn't seen Akane leave her house yet. Suddenly, Guri appeared inside Yuzu's car, holding a doll that resembled Akane. Yuzu asked why Guri was suddenly in her car. Guri approached her because she thought Yuzu seemed interesting. At home, Seiji asked his younger sister, Aqua, if she had met Guri yet. Aqua asked who Guri was and didn't understand what Seiji was talking about. Seiji touched Aqua's shoulder and requested that Aqua listen to him occasionally. However, Aqua instead slammed Seiji and threw him out of the house. Unexpectedly, Akane witnessed all of this and immediately brandished a knife toward Aqua. The knife nearly struck Aqua, but fortunately, Seiji quickly explained that Aqua was his younger sister. Akane apologized as she had mistaken Aqua for a girl trying to seduce Seiji. Akane then acted friendly and introduced herself as Seiji's future wife, but Aqua remained indifferent and walked away. That day in the student infirmary, Guri and Yuzu acted as love health officers, assisting students who wanted to consult about love. The first patient was Rintaro, who said he liked a girl named Hanaka. After hearing this, Guri suggested that Rintaro go directly to where Hanaka was. Rintaro was overjoyed and immediately went to find Hanaka. The love consultation practice conducted by Guri and Yuzu became the talk among students because those who came managed to find love after just one consultation. Seiji and Akane entered the student infirmary and asked what Guri was doing. Yuzu welcomed Akane and said that her goal aligned with Guri's. Yuzu explained that they used the extraordinary power of the Kiss Notebook. For example, they paired the person stalking Akane with a police officer, so Yuzu was helping the teachers by acting as a cupid. Guri added that they only paired couples who had already fallen in love. However, to Seiji, it seemed like they were forcing people to fall in love. Guri was puzzled as Seiji, being her boyfriend, should be helping her duties as a cupid, but he hadn't done anything yet. Seiji then said that he would also look for potential couples with Akane, and he confiscated the Kiss Notebook. Yuzu was puzzled by Seiji's behavior and even more puzzled as to why Akane likes such a cruel guy. Yuzu asked if Seiji had dragged Guri into this mess, but Guri admitted that she had asked to pair with Seiji. Yuzu then asked if Guri truly likes Seiji. Guri said she didn't even know because she had no experience with love. However, there was something about Seiji that caught her attention. According to Guri, Seiji was interesting and fun, and that's what made her love him. Yuzu asked why Guri became a cupid. Guri said she had a lot of knowledge about it because she learned from manga, anime, and internet forums. According to Yuzu, love isn't something that should be understood but rather felt in the heart. Meanwhile, Seiji told Akane that he didn't expect Yuzu to misuse the Kiss Notebook as well. Akane felt happy when Seiji invited her. As they were walking together, Seiji accidentally bumped into Mary. He immediately apologized, but Mary said she was the one who was a bit lost in thought. It was unusual for Mary to daydream, so Akane suspected that Mary might be in love. Akane asked Mary to tell her if there was someone Mary liked or wanted to date because Akane might be able to pair them up, just like she and Seiji. Seiji whispered to Akane that she seemed to be pushing too hard. Meanwhile, Guri and Yuzu were reading the paper they had found earlier. It appeared to be some kind of love poem. According to Yuzu, the person who wrote it was probably experiencing unrequited love. Guri then suggested that they find this person and make their love come true. Yuzu was more than happy to help, and they really started working like cupids. Suddenly, a man named Nagito entered the student infirmary and asked if a piece of paper had fallen in that room. Mr. Nagito quickly snatched the paper from Yuzu's hands. Yuzu then asked if he was the one who had written it. He then asked if Yuzu and Guri had read it, and Guri even stated that she and Yuzu had analyzed its content. Mr. Nagito felt embarrassed and said that a man writing something like that was disgusting. However, Yuzu thought it was a beautiful poem that resonated deeply in her heart. Guri then asked who the person Mr. Nagito was in love with was. Before he could answer, Seiji suddenly arrived and asked what kind of trouble Guri was causing this time, assuming that she was once again creating a mess. Guri and Yuzu said they had found a perfect match candidate. Seiji told Mr. Nagito that Mary was bringing the boxes into his room. Seeing Mary right in front of him, Mr. Nagito's face turned red. He looked so nervous that he ended up falling. Mary then told him to be firm and to stand up properly. She also instructed him to fix his messy appearance since, as a teacher, he should set a good example for his students. After Mary helped him tidy up, Mr. Nagito suddenly fell again. Yuzu immediately suspected that the person he was in love with was Mary. Seiji also guessed that the person Mary wanted to date was Mr. Nagito. They held a discussion about the situation, and Seiji concluded that Mr. Nagito was in love with Mary, but Mary did not want to date him, especially since they were a teacher and a student, making it an impossible situation. However, Guri argued that if a male-male couple was acceptable, then so was a teacher-student relationship. Yuzu and Guri agreed to pair them up, but Seiji believed it would be a huge bother for Mary. Akane, on the other hand, was unsure because if Mary truly did not like Mr. Nagito, she would reject him outright. Guri suggested that they observe Mr. Nagito and Mary's feelings for a while before deciding whether they should push for the relationship. Yuzu was excited about making Mr. Nagito and Mary's love come true. Seiji reminded them that their job was not to make their love happen, but to confirm their feelings. At that moment, Yuzu and Guri brought Mr. Nagito to the audiovisual room and urged him to shout his feelings across the entire school. They wanted him to confess his love for Mary using the microphone. Overwhelmed, Mr. Nagito ran away because he could not do it.